Hi guys, this is Nikki Yu, also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching the Awesome10X April 7, 2021 Global Market Update. Let's begin. Okay, so for today's show, we're going to discuss about Token Wave. So you already are aware that about 5 days ago, Funko joined the NFT Craze by signing up and teaming up with Token Wave. Who is Funko? Of course, it's the leader in pop culture collectibles. And with Funko's expertise in physical goods combined with Token Wave's knowledge of blockchain and NFTs, non-fungible tokens, we are setting up to disrupt the way the world collects digitally and physically. So I'd argue that if you are new here in the channel, go and check ahead our Funko Want to Buy Funko for Christmas, wherein we actually advised people to buy Funko at about $5 to $8. And right now, with of course not the knowledge that it's gonna go NFT, we just felt that it had a great IP, and you have more than 1,000 IPs and a lot of companies working with Funko, and it is of course a fan of everyone. Say it's a Game of Thrones, Star Wars, and so forth. So this was when we were really actively buying, especially with the reopening plays, given that we know that Funko sales are a function of movie. There's a huge 99% correlation with that. So right now with this NFT craze, you are seeing that Funko is getting a stronger greed mode, from about greed to perhaps euphoria. And we want to actually engage with this NFT craze simply by telling you that there is an opportunity to buy some extra Funkos at $21 all the way to $17 if an opportunity exists. Now, the short-term resistances would be these resistances at 24 to 28. And it is really about how functionally how much sales can Funko actually generate, whether it be $100 million through these NFTs. Now, what's the craze on these names? Why are we talking about collectibles? Just last night, MUDS Capital actually went up after, like, the warrants were up 270% after they said about the collectible company, which is Tops, becoming their SPAC. So you could see that there's a lot of news that the NFT market is a huge craze, and collectibles is actually a very big thing. We are seeing that the expectations for collectibles is very strong, and a lot of people are actually racing in to cash in on this movement. Let me show to you the NFT craze. Wait up, let me close all these sites. So yeah, MUDS Capital is actually now Tops. So this is Tops. You can play tops.com if you are doing a lot of collectibles. So there's digital collectibles, there's physical collectibles. You could see that the SPAC getting a huge $1 billion SPAC tells you that if the market is willing to pay a huge sales for these collectibles, then there is a definite demand for retros, collections, all these collections from the physical to the digital. Do you know how cheap this is about baseball, like Tops or Bunt MLB card trader? So let me show to you the discrepancy of how huge the MUDS SPAC is and how big the opportunities for Funko is. So Tops is going to go public with MUDS Capital through a SPAC. Michael Eisner, of course, is the Disney CEO. He's going to be a chairman after closing of this acquisition. The company is dealt at $1.3 billion with an expected $571 million of cash. Who is Tops? They are more than 80-year-old already, sports collectibles, trading cards, novelty confections company. They were actually acquired by Michael Eisner, and he is the long-time former CEO of Walt Disney. So he isn't selling a single share of Tops, and they are actually gonna be under the ticker symbol TOPP. Shares of MUDS Capital rallied 7%, with the warrants rising 267% after this deal got announced. Very strong movement. It just tells you how huge the collectible market demand is, which is an automatic tell that the market loves to buy actually Funko. This is the website of Tops. So you could see that Marvel collectibles, digital collectibles from cards. You could see that all these great IPs are all able to be seen in your Funko. So I was sharing some Funko Game of Thrones, and I think that what's important for you is to read the news here. So let me read to you how this is happening. Funko is entering the NFT market, non-fungible tokens, with a majority stake in the token head developer. The token head developer uses Wax blockchain. So that is a cryptocurrency, Wax. So Funko is a leading pop culture. They have a major stake in Token Wave, a leading mobile app and website so that you can showcase your non-fungible token holdings. Token Head is now available on iOS and Android and currently displays over 10 million NFTs with more than 100,000 visits per day. Funko is very thrilled to advance another platform that our fans and collectors will find and love valuable, will love and find valuable. This will include digital assets, the company's pop culture platform said, launching their very first initial NFT offerings by June. So that's about 2 months from now, featuring unique properties each week, starting price of $9.99. Products will be sold on the Wax platform, the leading decentralized wallet on the blockchain, providing verifiable authenticity for the purchases of Funko NFTs. These are Brian Marotti said that they're thrilled to advance another platform so that the fans and collectors will love and find valuable. Strategy in this space is very clear, bringing the value-added NFT opportunity to our licensed partners from movies, television, sports, music, anime, video games, and comic books. So our entry into the new digital space is actually setting us up for long-term success. The marriage of digital and physical using Wax's patented NFT technology, known as VIRLs, is very powerful. Our ability to combine Funko digital FTs with exclusive Funko Pop vinyl figures has the potential to be a game changer. By backing up the rarest of the Funko NFTs with exclusive redeemable Funko Pops, we are poised to enter the NFT market in a very unique manner. Initially, we plan to make Funko NFTs broadly accessible to our fans by giving them affordable entry pricing. Utilizing the Wax blockchain technology, we have the opportunity to eventually bring Funko collectible NFTs to our millions of fans around the world. And the NFT is all about content. Funko has been connecting fans to the content they love for over 20 years. I think this is a very good move for Funko, and I actually approve of this deal by Brian Marotti. And being a huge Funko fan as well, let's discuss about the Funko numbers for you. Let's give you a short, small thing. Market cap of Funko right now is $1 billion. If you understand how big the cryptocurrency market for NFT is, people are saying that it's at least $1 trillion. So let's assume that. So you know that cryptocurrencies right now, as a whole, is $2 trillion. But what? And of course, around half of that is mostly Bitcoin with $1 trillion, and then Ethereum is the other big kahuna there. Nonetheless, you could say that the movement is has been very bullish for actually even the Wax. I'll show to you what happened with Wax. The crypto of Wax. Wax USD is of course available on your Bitfinex, your Bitfinex, your Hobby, your yeah. So let's take a look at those names. Okay, so you could see that Wax went up from as low as 4 cents here to as high as 32 cents, or about an 8x on the eve of announcement of these NFTs with Funko, right? The token wave. You could see that this for the crypto players, of course, Wax dollar could have a buyer here at about 15 cents on the way down. Nonetheless, you're seeing 18 and 12 cents has a buyer. But it's very crucial for you to understand that if you are of the belief that the potential is big for NFTs, then you've seen how it happened with Playboy, right? PLBY. They are auctioning a lot of the pictures, old time pictures of, say, a Marilyn Monroe pinup, right? So that actually made the company go as high as $20+. Let me show to you the prices. So these are all related to the Playboy was a move on the NFT craze. So went from about 10 all the way to $30. I'd argue that with Funko, it could actually theoretically be at least $2 to $3 billion just simply on this Funko NFT craze. And either way, you could see that the sales are already there to begin with some selling at about $1 million, $5 million for NFT related assets. So I'd argue that with this movement, the bullish guys are there. Short term, you've got resistances at 24 and 28. Perhaps this $30 when broken is really all-time high. So $20, can it be $100 or a $5 billion market cap? I think the argument is just more on imagination. So Funko, in my view, is a buy. Now, I'll give you another idea as well. With all these reopening tandem, you've got the vaccines, right? And you've got news on a lot of Americans all able to travel. One potential answer is also Melco Resorts. Now, you could argue that, well, Melco is not US, this is in China. Melco Resorts is indeed in Macau. But we might argue that although it's far away, it's not like exactly in the USA. If there is a huge reopening wave, not just in US, but also in China, then there could be a potential movement in your casinos. And you could see that Melco Resorts has already bottomed out here at $16 after dropping from 32 to 16 in the last 3 years. So this drop has been already a perfect reset. And I'd argue that in the next 2 to 3 years, the movement for Melco Resorts is on the way up. So here at about $20, I'd argue that there is resistance at 26 and 32. But for people who wants to buy and accumulate 20 all the way to 16, if you like Melco Resorts, this might be an opportunity for you. As for some other news, let me share more. Of course, for the crypto players, I'd like to say that Facebook is also a crypto-related play. How so? Because Facebook, of course, has always been telling you guys about Libra. Libra has been reimagined into Novi wallet. So what is Novi wallet? Let's read the news for you. It's been a while now for the people who aren't aware. Novi wallet. So Novi wallet. Facebook, crypto. Wait, the Libra was changed to a new project, new wallet name. So they renamed it to Novi. So Facebook Novi from Calibra. Effort, which was debuting last year, was part of their ambitious plan to venture into the digital currency space. That's Facebook Novi. So what's the latest news on that? So far, I think that the breakout of Facebook above $300 has to do with this new digital wallet for the DM payment system. It's all about stable coins, by the way. So it has nothing to do with the volatility, because you know that Facebook is very adamant in giving the 2.5 billion people inside their actually more than 3 billion people in Facebook, WhatsApp, Messenger for a real e-commerce play. Facebook has all the ambition to be an e-commerce player, and one of the ways for them to be very adamant with their Facebook e-commerce and payment fintech play is really to be a very strong Novi. Is to be very strong on their Novi. So we'll read about the news on Novi wallet. Let's read about the news on Novi wallet. So some of the crypto billionaires do believe that by June 2021, they will already debut that. So what new products could debut at the Facebook Developer Conference? Let's read this. So people are already saying that this is gonna be a killer app versus Square. Facebook will host a virtual event this June, and most likely, people are already speculating that by June, they will already announce their Novi wallet. So Facebook will host developers. The event is called F8 Refresh. It will be a place to celebrate, inspire, and help developers grow. Facebook Zuckerberg won't be giving a keynote speech, but some of the product launches would be perhaps a Clubhouse-related app, very likely. And then we saw that actually. I saw from so I shared it actually in my Twitter page. My Twitter, by the way, is @FaceTrader. I shared the Facebook Clubhouse snapshots. So that's one. And then, of course, the Novi digital wallet, their cryptocurrency, which is DM. And then, of course, Oculus. They're also going to discuss about their virtual reality segment. So given the rise of interest in valuation in cryptocurrencies, it's very likely that FB is going to break above because of the Novi wallet. And if you are very bullish on that, well, the market has already been very bullish about it as well. You could see that this clear breakout of 286 here at 306 is all-time highest career for Facebook. So that Facebook movement, in my view, is all about cryptocurrencies. Now, let's talk about a few things further. In the SPAC world, this is an interesting SPAC, Rotor Acquisition Corp. The ticker symbol is ROT, R-O-T, and Palantir has bought a stake on it. Let's discuss why ROT is a very interesting SPAC. So this company is actually, it reminded me actually of EXO and Rewalk Robotics. So Rotor is so you're seeing as well in the news, Coinbase Nasdaq listing is fueling a frenzy in Korean crypto stocks. So you're seeing that in the cryptocurrency space, there's a lot of ways to make a move there. You've got Facebook, you've got Funko. I'd argue that there's also, of course, people are automatically people are aware of Binance, right? So Binance has been just going up in a way, and you know that Binance has already gone 400x since $1. So this one was Binance $1 about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and now it's about $400. Some would argue that about 350, 360 they sold, but with so much frenzy on Coinbase, there are people who are still able to see this translate to higher moves. How high could this extension go? Could it go $500? All depends on how high Coinbase is. No, so with a lot of demand in crypto, there's really that huge move on your currency exchanges. Remember that back was also a play. DEH peak notes was happening. This is also a play on the cryptocurrency space. VPC Impact is your back, which is a cryptocurrency play. It's similar to Coinbase. They are targeting a lot of institutions. There's so VHow is also a play on crypto. And then of course Rotor. No? Let's discuss what Rotor does. Wait, I read it already a while ago. Let me show to you that movement. So sarado ko na to. Funko share surge after acquiring an NFT app. Funko token head acquisition. So I think that is a bullish movement. So of course, you could also understand the evolution of baseball cards, tops, diba? Coming into the wax blockchain. Oops, sorry. Wait, nahilo ko. Ano yung pinag-usapan natin? I am lost. Rotor. Okay, Rotor. So Rotor is about the robotics. So this is Rotor SPAC, SPAC. This is 5 things to know about the Sarcos Robotics SPAC merger. So it's a $1.3 billion deal. And this is the recent news. It is climbing. Actually, this one is still $10. So you might be interested about this. This is still near the NAV price. 5 things to know about it. All right. Investors should know that this is a valuation of $1.3 billion. So similar. Rotor is a similar value, 1.3 billion. The other one, MUDS, is $1.3 billion. The big blue chip investors here is BlackRock and Palantir. So we launched Rotor with the goal of identifying and partnering with companies that are disrupting old economy business. Sarcos fits this very perfectly, robotics technology to the global workforce. So, bakit ganun lang? Okay, so it's a fully robotic exoskeleton with workers wearing to lift much heavier items with less strain on the body. When I saw the Rotor, actually, it reminded me actually with how cheap Rewalk Robotics is and how cheap Exobionics is. So if you don't want to pay $1 billion, so as you can see, what I'm doing is, if they are willing to pay $1 billion for Rotor, if they're willing to pay $1 billion for tops, well, Funko is what? Funko is so cheap. Funko is also $1 billion. And Exo and Rewalk are even cheaper. Rewalk Robotics is, well, it's not the same, I know, but it is also an exoskeleton play. It's $100 million. Rewalk is $100 million. Exo is less than, very cheap as well. Here about $76 million. So if you want a cheaper alternative to these explosive SPACs, you've got Rewalk at $230 and you've got Exobionics at about $6. This one is also an interesting SPAC, D8 Holdings. This is DEH. This is actually surgical robotics and virtual reality, minimally invasive surgery. This SPAC is Bill Gates backed. So Bill Gates is actually listing his SPAC, which is D8 Holdings. Let me read to you the exact names here. I'll read it for you here. I wrote it in the IPO SPAC. Sige, it's all here. Wait up, I'll read na lang. IPO SPACs. I shared it a while ago. Okay, so so this one, no? So it's actually, there's also an interesting IPO, Canva, but it's a little bit expensive. Very expensive for the Canva, $15 billion. But that said, I like the Canva IPO. Vicarious Surgical is a developer of medical robot technology backed by Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. They're working with a SPAC. It's going to be $1.1 billion. This is a pre-revenue company co-founded by Adam Sachs, Sami Khalifa, and Dr. Barry Green in 2014. They tout minimally invasive surgery using proprietary human-like surgical robots and virtual reality. So investors include E15 Capital, Cosla Ventures, Innovation Endeavors, and AME Cloud Ventures. So right now, you're seeing like the big names out here in the SPAC world. Just a couple of weeks or months ago, we heard about Jeff Bezos entering into the ARIA SPAC, which we are liking. It went to as high as $14, even as high as $20+. So this Bill Gates backed SPAC might actually hit from 10 to as high as $20. If you're interested about that, you might want to check out DEH. There's so much more to discuss, but time's up. Let me read a few comments now. What are the best stocks to buy today? I think like you might want to enter some NFT plays. So some NFTs like Facebook. Of course, Facebook isn't exactly an NFT in a crypto play, but there's more. But I think that upside is not yet priced into the market. So you might want to enter some Facebooks even at $300. You want to enter some Funko even at $21. You want to enter some SPACs like DEH and ROT if you believe in it. So hello from Toronto. Is CleanSpark and Ebon a good buy? I think CleanSpark at 22 is better. Ebon is being mired with fraud. I'm not sure if Ebon is a fraud. So, but that said, Ebon is a cryptocurrency miner, which should benefit. I prefer for cryptocurrency miner, if you want to be just safe, you just go for Hot 8 and Bitfarm. They're cheaper anyway. And they've got real BTCs. Like Hot 8 has more than 3,000 BTCs in storage, Bitfarms as well. I prefer actually Hot 8. If you had one choice, I'd prefer Hot. Thoughts on AITX, the Twitter drama between George and Steve Reinhardt. I think I don't really care about drama. What you have to understand is AITX here at 8 cents is actually a good entry point. What I like about AITX is very simple. It's just robotic assistance devices. If you believe in robotics and automation, AITX works. It's not the number one. Not the number one, but it is still doing robotics. When it comes to robotics, there's so many ways to play it out. You can do a Baidu for robotaxis. You could do Tesla for robotaxis. I'd argue artificial intelligence like Palantir and C3 AI. In fact, this was last night's topic. I discussed so many companies that are really, when it talks about robotics, there's just so many. There's Fanuc, there's Yaskawa, that's in Japan. So I think I'm not aware of MKGP. I know about Forward and Forwardly and Humble. We already discussed Humble a long time ago. Just go to our Awesome10X. We said that Humble Pay, we like it. We are of the view that the blockchain and the fintech movements and all the things that Brian Foote is doing is right. So whether people call it a fraud or not, we actually don't believe in that. So we are bullish on AITX. Humble, if you could buy it at $3 below, even better. I mean, if they want to sell Humble Pay all the way to $2.50, that should benefit you. I don't know about MKGP, so I can't answer that. Forwardly has a stake in Humble Pay through warrants, so it should move the same way as Humble. I saw that you bought Nano Dimension, bought as well at $7.90. Yeah, so Nano Dimension is a play on space and additive manufacturing. Roku and Peloton crowd looks good. Can it go to all-time highs? Roku, in my view, you've got some resistances at about $400. I do have some Roku, but at $300 as well. I think that 300, 320, 330, we got that low, the pullback. But in the short term, let's be honest, I think 400 to 450 might be a bit toppish for your Roku. Peloton is a lot of resistance at 140, 150. CrowdStrike, I'm biased. I think CrowdStrike will go poise all-time highs, but give it time. The reason because CrowdStrike is unique in their own way and very little appreciation for what they do. With more than 100% revenue growth, more than 130% net retention rate. So Roku, Peloton, and CrowdStrike are all favorites. Let me just say that these are not 10x names if you're buying it today because they've already been discovered. At most, maybe about 50% in the short term, about 100 to 300% in the next 3 to 10 years. So, yeah. I think that in terms of market cap, Roku and CrowdStrike can go up, yes, but maybe about 3x from current levels. There's a lot of other 10x names than these three. Okay? Thank you very much and hope that you learned something for the day. Bye-bye. Thanks.